Hello, this is Archie Dunlop with Talking Astrology with Archie on Saturday, April the 15th, 2023. It's not going to be a long one today. I'm a bit tired and it's cold and I feel a bit uninspired. Nonetheless, I want to talk about hypothetical planets before I talk about today's astrology. Hypothetical planets may seem really weird. Why would you use a planet that doesn't exist in astrology? I mean, isn't that just crazy? The hypothetical planets I use have a Germanic origin, something in Germany called the Hamburg School uses the hypothetical planets, and in particular the founder Alfred Witte actually discovered these planets through a process, or at least some of these planets, through a process of reverse engineering. So when you think of a planet, you would, in astrology at least, you'd think, oh, well, there's a planet, I can see it, so what's it going to do down here on Earth? There's Saturn. It's going to cause some misery here. Jupiter is going to cause me to make some money, whatever. But what about the other way around? So Alfred Witte was a soldier during the First World War, and he was on the Russian front, and he wanted to predict Russian artillery barrages. And he found that using the known planets, he wasn't able to do it. So what he did was he noted the times of artillery barrages and then speculated that at these times there must be some extra planet causing the artillery barrage. So on the basis of the artillery barrages, he was able to construct the orbit of a planet called Cupido, which strangely it's associated with love, but he was associating it with artillery barrages. I think he did a second planet as well, called Hades. And Hades is about garbage, it's about death, it's about criminality, and it's a planet that I am really quite obsessed about, and I'll tell you why. At the beginning of my astrology career, was in the 80s, I was playing around with hypothetical planets. When you start learning astrology, you like to mess around with trifles like asteroids, hypothetical planets, this kind of thing. And I was looking at my mother's chart, and I knew, because I've got a good memory for dates, I knew that there was a burglary in the house in, I think, 1968. And so I noticed that Hades was doing something to her chart in 1968. And then I had someone I knew, and I had her chart, and I was looking at her chart, and I said, oh, hold on, she's got the same thing coming up that my mother had in 1968. So I did something which is probably rather stupid. Astrologers should never do this kind of thing. I called this person and I said, watch out, you're about to have a burglary. I don't know why I did that. I just did it. It was kind of quite an immature thing to do. Anyway, I made my warning, and apparently 2 hours or an hour or two after my warning, this person I gave a warning to, someone broke into her flat. I think it was someone who was, I don't know, I think he was into looking for underwear. That was his thing. And he broke into her flat, perhaps looking for underwear, and then he ran away. But the point is, I'd somehow managed to predict it almost by mistake. And after that, obviously I felt pretty good that I'd made such a good prediction, and it was certainly my best prediction. I haven't quite been able to match that. That was my best prediction. Doesn't get much better than that, being able to predict a burglary 2 hours before it happened. And it wasn't me that was the burglar. And so after that, I've got really into Hades. Hades, a planet of death and destruction and cemeteries and garbage. So let's look at today's astrology. And yes, Hades is important today. We cannot ignore this planet, as I will now show you. So here is the chart for today. Now, starting off with the good news, the moon is in late Aquarius, and it's making a sextile aspect to the sun, and it's making a sextile aspect to Jupiter. So for many of us, it's going to be a really fortunate day. I mean, as I've said before, when the moon and sun and moon are in fortunate aspect, it's good. We feel healthy. We can get things together, and everything's in balance. And relationships are in balance as well, because the moon is a female planet, the sun is a male planet, and that's great. And of course, moon sextile Jupiter. That's extra lucky, particularly towards the beginning of the day. When we do something, it just comes together. And so that's the good news about this chart. Also, that's not the only good thing about this chart, is that if you look at Mercury, it's on the Venus-Jupiter midpoint. So Mercury is about our thoughts, the way we think, the way we communicate. Venus and Jupiter are the two luckiest planets in the solar system. So we're going to be quite optimistic. We're going to be thinking about the bright side of life. We're going to be able to cheer people up. We're going to be happy, and because Mercury's in Taurus, we can ground people. We can really have a very fortunate influence on the people around us. Now, there is a problem though today, and it's this. This is the glyph. This is the symbol of Hades. Now you'll see that makes sense because it's got a little cross there. That's a sort of cross, the graveyard cross there. And so Mars and Hades are coming together. And this represents bad actions. Actions that come to no good. And criminal actions. So, it's a day when some of us could have unfortunate contacts with criminal elements, with sleazy elements. We might have a relationship with garbage which could bother us. Something about garbage could make us really angry. So if someone hasn't put out the garbage, or someone has left garbage around, that's going to really make us mad. At the same time, that Hades and Mars is aspecting by square aspect the Saturn-Uranus midpoint. The Saturn-Uranus midpoint is around 10 Aries, and Mars and Hades are square the Saturn-Uranus midpoint. So that might indicate in certain places real violence, real destruction. It's really nasty. So this does somewhat spoil the day, I'm afraid. So I would suggest that you keep it simple. Don't do anything dangerous. Don't do anything careless. Don't mix with the wrong people. Just enjoy the company of close friends. Give yourself the opportunity to brighten people's lives, but don't go out of your way to do it, because the more you have to travel, the more you have to go out of your way, the more likely it is that you'll meet up with these dangerous elements. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for the positions of the planets for today. I will, of course, go through the 12 signs. Okay, Aries, 3 stars. Someone needs a warm welcome, but steer clear of trash. Now, the reason I say steer clear of trash is because Mars is ruler of Aries and it's conjunct Hades. Taurus, 4 stars. Secret plans can be profitable. Gemini, 3 stars. It's time to believe in something. Cancer, 2 stars. Be careful what you wear or don't wear. It might give the wrong impression. Leo, 4 stars. There are people out there who are very interested in you. Virgo, 3 stars. A day for organisation and a bit of reading. Libra, 4 stars. Amusing people is half the battle. Scorpio, 4 stars. Something appearing normal can actually be unpleasant. And part of the reason I said that is because Mars is ruler of Scorpio, traditional ruler of Scorpio. It's not Pluto. Mars is conjunct Hades. Sagittarius, 3 stars. You're running out of words. Capricorn, 3 stars. In terms of money, it's important to stick to what you know. Aquarius, 3 stars. Look who's coming your way. And finally, Pisces, 4 stars. The best opportunities are disguised. Now I'm going to turn to the I Ching. As usual, I threw 3 coins in the air. And the first hexagram I got was innocence. Just being innocent. Don't expect anything. That's really important. Just, don't, if you think about too much about all the good things that could happen, they won't happen. So just let it happen, and in the first instance, follow your heart. And when you see things start to move, you're going to want to take things further. But when you start to see the results of your innocence, of waiting for the unexpected, when the action really starts to happen, don't force it. You must instead be patient and allow the situation to develop. And develop it will. And as you move towards the end of the day, this hexagram changes. You move from the unexpected to the hexagram of gathering, people coming together. It seems that to get what you want, you are going to need other people's help. So if you try to do it on your own, if you're over enthusiastic, then things might not work out. So gather people together and be around these people, and then I think you're going to get what you want. Of course, they have to be the right people, as I've said earlier in terms of the astrology, because some people today, because of that Mars-Hades conjunction, are up to no good. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for today, and I will see you tomorrow.